For years, we've all been hearing the same story. That the 21st century really boils down to this one epic rivalry, the tech war between the United States and China. It's all about innovation, who's competing with who, and this huge race to build the future. But what if we've been missing the most important part of that story?
Okay, let's really get into this. Because the common thinking, about who invents the next cool gadget or the smartest AI, well, that might actually be distracting us from where the real power is actually shifting. We've got to look a little deeper.
And this quote, it absolutely nails it. The whole game has changed. The real battlefield isn't just some research lab anymore. No, it's the factory floor. It's the national power grid. It's all about how deeply and how fast you can weave technology into the very fabric of your country. This is now a war of application. So first up, let's explore that exact idea, moving our focus away from just the flashy, headline-grabbing inventions to see what really counts.
Think about it like this. Having the perfect blueprint for a skyscraper is one thing, right? But being able to actually build it, power it, and make it part of a city, that's a whole different ballgame. And that's why the ability to apply and scale technology has become the new yardstick for power.
Which leads us right to our second point, the two totally different playbooks that the US and China are using to win this thing. Now, what's so fascinating here is this strategic mismatch. On one side, you've got the US, the undisputed champ of frontier innovation. They're creating the most advanced AI, designing the most cutting-edge chips, and their research ecosystem pulls in money from all over the world. But on the other side, you have China's application power. Their whole focus is taking good enough tech, and with massive state coordination and unbelievable manufacturing scale, just ramming it into the physical world as fast as possible.
And this number, it just says it all. This is how much faster China is adopting industrial robots than the United States. 12 times faster. That isn't just a random statistic. It's a strategy in action. It's about turning lines of code into real, tangible, productive machines on a scale we've never seen before.
So where is this battle of application actually happening? Well, this whole competition is playing out across four really critical fronts.
All right, front number one. This is the one you've probably heard the most about: semiconductors and AI. But look, these aren't just components anymore. They're the central nervous system for the modern economy and the modern military. They are quite literally the new oil.
And even here, on this front, you can see those two different playbooks at work. The US is focused on these really expensive, closed models from companies like OpenAI and Google, mostly aimed at big corporate customers. China, on the other hand, is pushing cheap, open-source models subsidized by the state with one goal: get them adopted in the real world across the entire economy as fast as humanly possible.
Okay, on to the second front. And this is an area where China is just dominating. It's what's called the electric tech stack. This isn't about one single product. It's about building an entire industrial ecosystem where every part reinforces the others. Better batteries lead to better EVs, which lead to better drones and robots, and all the things they learn from each one just accelerates the whole cycle. It's this powerful, self-reinforcing loop of application.
Now for front number three, and this is where the whole power dynamic gets flipped on its head. If semiconductors are an American strength, well, clean energy and the minerals that fuel it, that's a whole different story.
Just look at these numbers. It's staggering. China controls huge chunks of the entire clean energy supply chain. We're talking 85% of the value chain for solar panels and an absolutely mind-blowing 90% of all rare earth refining. This gives them incredible leverage and, frankly, creates a massive strategic vulnerability for the West.
And that brings us to our fourth front. And honestly, this one is often the most overlooked: energy. All this incredible AI that we're all so excited about has a pretty big, dirty secret. It's unbelievably power-hungry. It needs a staggering amount of electricity. Get this. By 2030, the new data centers we'll need to power the AI revolution will use as much electricity as 60 million homes. Suddenly, the race to build AI is also a race to build power plants. A country's ability to generate massive amounts of energy now puts a hard cap on its technological dreams.
So look, none of this is happening in a bubble, right? This entire rivalry is reshaping the global chessboard. It's creating brand new arenas for competition and for influence.
And the main stage for this contest is what experts are starting to call the New South. This is where both superpowers are battling it out for partnerships. They're offering infrastructure, technology, and investments, all to win over allies. And this competition has spawned this really clever counter-strategy. It's called power shoring. You have countries in the New South that have tons of cheap green energy, and they're now using that as a lure to attract those power-hungry data centers and factories. They're literally leveraging their energy to get a seat at the big geopolitical table.
Okay, so where does this all leave us? What does all this mean for the future? Well, what we're seeing is the dawn of a completely new global order.
And this right here, this is the new reality. A total economic divorce between the US and China, it's just not going to happen. They're way too tangled up together. And yet, we're living in a world that is strategically breaking apart, with each side trying to build its own sphere of influence. It's this wild paradox. We're somehow more divided and more dependent on each other than ever before.
Which brings us right back to the central idea of this whole explainer. The ultimate winner of this contest, it's not going to be decided by some single eureka moment of genius. Victory is going to go to whoever can best translate ideas from the lab into the real world. The most effective integrator, not just the best inventor.
And so, I'll leave you with this final, crucial question. In this new era, where all the power is in application, in scale, and in integration, who do you think is actually best positioned to build the world of tomorrow? Because the answer to that is going to define the rest of our century.